Gospel of Luke chapter 24, the road to Emmaus. In the aftermath of the death of the Messiah, who is the embodiment of the hopes and dreams of the Jewish people, a long-suffering people, we are changing directions. We walk away from Jerusalem, the site of the crucifixion, the embodiment of suffering love, walking towards a rival center of power. Not because I want to, but because I feel like at the end of the day I have no choice. And what does Jesus do? I notice you're sad. What are you talking about? And they say, you gotta be kidding me. Are you the only person who has not heard these things which have taken place in Jerusalem these past few days? And he says, what things? And they go on to say all these things about Jesus of Nazareth, the one who performed signs and wonders, the one that they thought was the Messiah. Now, just to kind of clock that, how long is that period of self-disclosure? Probably not brief. They're not simply describing the death of the Messiah. They're not simply describing the events of the past couple of years. They're describing these things in light of their own personal experience. Probably that takes a really long time, maybe hours. And this whole time, Jesus is listening to them, self-disclose, all the while walking in the wrong direction. And then, after they've had their fill, after they feel satisfied that he's heard what's on their hearts, then he speaks. But it's interesting. Again, you gotta read between the lines, right? It's not simply this thing that we typically do. You're talking, I can't wait for you to shut up so I can start talking. I'm sure you have no idea what I'm talking about. We do this all the time, right? What the Lord does in this moment is a certain kind of synodality, a journeying with, right? So you're talking, and I'm actually listening. What you're saying, what you're sharing in terms of your wounded heart is informing my thoughts and the thing I'm about to say. So even though I go on to explain all the things about myself in the Hebrew scriptures, it's not some abstraction. I'm saying each one of these things in light of the experience you've shared with me. And because Jesus follows a good process, what happens at the end? He disappears after they recognize him, and they reflect on their experience. Weren't our hearts burning within us as he explained the scriptures to us? Without further instructions, they change directions. They go to Jerusalem. They resume the path of suffering love and have this desire and fire in their hearts to tell everyone all these things they have seen and heard. And you see the point. If you respect good process and you allow yourself to be healed in the way that God wants you to be healed, the mission, evangelization, witness, that all takes care of itself.